Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. I'm getting a tad bit of reverb from somebody.
I'm not sure if it. Well, I don't know.
Well, because you got everybody got the headphones
Headphones
on,
on,
so I
yeah.
shouldn't. All right,
No, you should be catching
testing
no
one,
reverb.
two. Or maybe it's just my joints
Yeah.
is crazy. All right, so we appreciate you guys rocking with us. Listen, my podcast people, thank you guys for rocking with us. We have several episodes in the bank, so make
Hey,
sure you
y'all.
check them out. Yes, and make sure if you're on Apple, you're leaving a review, rate and review, or
I just
whatever.
did.
Spotify, rate and review. It
Yeah.
takes about 20 seconds, 10 seconds if you type fast, or if you just hit the ding, and then hit the thumbs up. We appreciate you if you're rocking any place like YouTube, Facebook. Make sure you give us thumbs up, give us some comments, let us know if your first time here, or if you listen. If you've been sitting in the background, in the back, way back in the back, past the lights where we couldn't see you, and you've not stepped up, just put a comment, say, hey, this is my name, this is where I'm from, and then go back in the background. It's fine. You can chill out and listen to the conversation. But we do like comments, like you guys are being included.
Look who first is.
What's up,
I
Cole?
say that.
Cole.
Cole.
Corey in the building. Great morning to you.
I heard the podcast, Cole.
Yeah.
I got questions.
You got a question, right? Oh man.
Uh-oh.
Good morning. And Lisa in the building. Blessings.
Listen. I'm sorry. He's got a new episode that just dropped too on YouTube.
Oh shoot. Yeah, Cole is like a sports
LeBron James. Yeah.
Sports breakdown.
Yeah, I need Cole's podcast. Send me the podcast, man. I heard it, Cole. I heard you on the Brothers Who Talk, man, and I'm highly upset.
But listen, real quick, quick introduction. I am AD Walker. To my left, right is my brother Terry Little, and right below is Ephraim Terrell in the building. He is like a special guest, but he's family because he's always here. And he's invited. He can go in the refrigerator without asking. So listen,
I got
all right, so let's get busy. We got a lot to talk about, and unfortunately, my topic has no answer yet. I didn't want to catch that. Good morning. Welcome to another episode. Good morning. Everybody.
I'm gonna need you to extend that, man. I'll be trying to share and stuff. It's just not long.
Do a remix on it.
Yeah, like
like that.
Welcome back, you guys. I hope you guys have shared. I hope everyone in here has shared this broadcast. Sports Card Lady, Cole. I know Cole have, and I know Lisa have. So that's kind of easy.
Yes, everybody share. It's if you're in the building, if you like what we're saying, just share it out to people that you connected to. That's all.
It costs you nothing.
Yes, nothing. Listen, I just want to say, for the record, I don't like Apple. Okay, that's all. Let's continue on.
Man, what's wrong with you? Why you hating on
and I got before you're like, oh, you just a hater. No, I got them. I got Apple phone. I got Apple computer. I'm not really a fan. I'll tell you why. They just did an update and it's now changed everything.
Just did an update where?
On my phone. I haven't done the computer yet. I'm resisting. And
it's not, and it's good because it's not there yet. Because they have an event on November 10th. Apple does. They're going to announce the release of Big Sur. So hopefully, if you guys are tech geeks like I kind of am, it's a big thing. I love Apple though. Don't trip.
You know what? Apple and the whole Samsung, Android, Google thing. It's kind of like this election. It's choosing the less of two evils because you got to pick one, right?
Right.
Yeah,
I hear that.
I'm just saying. All right, I digress. So today we are talking about the winner, and there is none right now as far as the presidential election. It seems like a lot of states are calling. The House seats and Senate seats are being called. Georgia is still up in the air. I think they have.
I don't understand
10,000 votes. With Georgia. So I was watching the news report and they were saying, even if they get more people, they don't have the space. They don't have the space for more counting machines. They don't have the space for more people. So they just like, it's just the process.
Yeah.
You know, we got a lot of mail-in votes. We all knew that this is going to take time. And I'm sure they got an 8 to 5 kind of schedule. You know, like they may not be there all night. I would have thought 24/7. Maybe they are. Maybe there's shifts happening.
They changed them out.
They changed them out, you know, because there's no way that they're going to stop and leave a building half empty with just 2 or 3 security guards in there trying to protect votes. So,
my wife asked a question.
Issue.
Maybe somebody can help us. She asked, why didn't they count the early votes, the ballots? Like, why
they can't. State law.
Yeah, had to wait till the 3rd.
They had to wait. It
depends on the state.
Yeah, and I think most states was election day.
Yeah,
most states were election day. I think some tried to push for it, but it was pushed back, and that goes for, I'm gonna say, both parties. I've heard more Republican controlled states than them, because like why not just make the process simple?
Yeah, they were not counting on this early vote turnout though. Like this, the records they doubled. So
what was it, 47 million early voter?
Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Right. Georgia just doubled theirs, period, from 1.1 to 2.7.
Yeah, because I was gonna mail in, but then I decided to.
You actually went in, yeah.
Yeah, I went in. I took my mail-in vote in so they can cancel out that, so I could vote right there.
I want y'all all of it makes my head hurt. Listen, I don't know if you guys have watched the video of Bernie Sanders when he was on Jimmy Fallon. Did y'all see that?
Mm.
Bernie Sanders is a freaking prophet.
Oh yeah. He
I wish we could find that video.
He spoke about. I got another one, but he spoke about everything that's going to happen.
Yep.
Prior to
the letter, Ephraim.
Yeah,
I got to check that out.
Yeah.
On Jimmy Fallon last week.
See if you can find that, Terry, while we're talking. Find it on YouTube. I'm sure there's a clip.
Feel the burn. Listen to me. It was crazy.
Yeah.
He said that he was going to do, but did Bernie put a cone to his head though? Probably not. That's why I wear a hat. I don't know if I put a cone to my head, but that's another
strong takes from me from Adrian. Before we began our likes, he said, "I saw a pickup moving truck in front of the door."
He ain't gonna be enough.
Damn, that's it, really. I really.
Here's, and as I was watching the protesters last night, stop the count in these different states in Arizona, and I don't know where else. I know it's happening in Arizona, but I'm thinking to myself, going, not one shot was fired,
right?
Yeah.
No pepper spray,
right?
No water hoses,
right?
None of that. But
right.
They can get these Karens and Kens can protest,
right?
Yeah.
And peacefully stop the count and break the democratic process that's been happening since the onset of this country.
Right.
But let some black folk get together and say
Just 2 of them.
Right. You said just 2.
Yeah.
Just 2.
Mob.
When 2 or 3 are gathered.
The pepper spray will be in the
midst. Cole said Georgia is the biggest surprise for me. Political pundits were saying that Texas would flip. Mm-hmm. I thought early on that Biden would get Stacey Abrams, sorry, no disrespect, to be his running mate. If it was close, you're right. Because if he probably grabbed her, Georgia probably might have been in the bag.
But that shows me. Well, no, this is a Black brother conspiracy theory. I feel because I'm just as surprised because Georgia didn't flip for Obama. So if they flip now, that makes me feel like Stacey really won that election.
Oh yeah.
Like you feel what I'm saying? Like what she lost by like 50,000 votes, and then the person who was supposed to make sure that was all right was the person she running against. So I think Stacey really won. Georgia might be ready to go Democrat.
I mean, how could the now governor be the referee and the player at the same time? That's
why street ball games take so long, because you calling your own fouls, man. Like I'm gonna win every time.
That's a personal foul.
You tripped. He said it all makes my head hurt. Yeah. Did Bernie put a comb to his head? No, never.
I'm sure he didn't. If I got to take off his hat, ain't nothing for me. I tell you. I just don't get it though. Like, how can they? Why is it this democratic process? This mail-in ballots. The military has been mailing in ballots for ever.
Right.
There's nothing been wrong with this democratic process before now. Now all of a sudden, you got conspiracy theories. You got Eric Trump wherever he is acting stupid, saying crazy stuff. Now, before I say anything else, I want to say this: everything that comes out of Terry's little mouth is not the reflection of the brothers of legacy as a whole. These are my opinions. I'm just letting everybody know. All the census, FCC, all y'all, listen. But he's just, they're just saying crazy. I still am tripping on how he went Wednesday night and claimed victory.
Oh
yeah.
How you sound? But what they doing? They're trying to suppress the black vote.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm telling the people out here, listen to me, y'all. Y'all vote do matter, and it's every vote will be counted.
Listen, you know something is wrong when you're watching Fox, because I've been watching Fox, right? So
me too.
Because honestly, like if they're saying Biden is declared winner, I'm not rolling with it till Fox say he's declared winner.
Yeah.
You know, that's when it's official. But I was watching it, and one of Trump's lawyers or representatives, something I can't remember what she was arguing with not arguing, but she was talking with the commentator, and she was saying, we're gonna dispute or get some votes tossed or something, some mail-in votes tossed, that have been illegally put into the process. So the commentator was like, but if the state has allowed these votes to be counted up to a certain date, is it illegal? Well, we're just gonna make sure that none of these illegal votes. And she kept saying, if it's part of the same date, like if it's still in the right time frame, then it's not illegal.
And that's all he wants to accomplish. He just wants to cast doubt. That's it.
Yes.
He knows it's baseless. How can you win and then still sue people for counting? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's over, man.
Right, Cole said dog whistles, Terry. All the voter fraud talk is nothing but a dog whistle strategy. And he said Trump lost his stuff when Fox said that Arizona was called.
Yeah,
but seriously though, it goes from a dog whistle to a full blown air horn when you got people who are at these voting places trying to legit stop the vote. That's the democratic process. They've been doing that for years.
Right.
You hire just like when it's time for the census, right? Same thing. Yeah. They hire all these people to go in and get trained to count ballots and all that.
Yeah, it's a process.
It's crazy to me. And then you got I was reading this morning because the first thing I do when I open up my eyes is give thanks to God, and then I look at Facebook. And so I'm looking at these people posting, well, here's what we know. We got video of ballots being put on top of it. If you don't sit down somewhere with that nonsense.
What's up, Rich?
Yeah.
What's up, Rich?
And Trump, well, not Trump, Republicans, GOP, they have poll watchers that are legally, they've gone through the process. They're in there. Democrats have the same thing. They have lawyers and all. And that's why they was getting really rowdy in Detroit. They had to kick some people out. So they have people there to watch stuff just like that. And if something goes wrong and somebody raised their hand and flags some random ballot or whatever, then you have a million people that come over and swarm that area and try to straighten that out. It's a process.
It's a process though.
But I saw that same thing in Detroit, like you did, T. Like the camera went to the outside and people they were literally at the door trying to get in. And that's the people he incites. So if you count votes in there, you feel safe about changing shit.
Right.
You feel safe about going to get a smoke break right quick? Oh,
yeah.
Right now. Keep counting.
That's the way, baby. I ain't know.
Can you bring me some coffee? I'll sit right here and keep counting. I'll keep counting.
Hey, good morning, Cheryl, from California. But it's just all crazy, and it's so sad. And this is the country that we live in. But it's like, wow.
Yeah. And it's crazy. Someone put Trump. She said, "What did she say?" She said Trump is about to win. They won't cheat us. And so I'm like, so if he wins, it's not cheating. But if Biden wins, it's cheating.
It's cheating. Yeah.
So explain that. Explain it.
You're trying to steal the election with voter intimidation.
Right.
All this crap. Lawsuits. What's the deal with the lawsuits? Why are you suing these states that he lost
just cause. And I don't even know if he has a legal basis. Okay, this what I think Attorney Hamilton was saying the other day, he has a right to say,
right,
to question it. You know what I mean?
He got all
these lawyers make him do whatever, but like to put that kind of stuff in motion, man, it makes it feel like he's just coming for the process. Let me ask you this: if he loses, like it's looking, if he could win, there's a couple states that could, a couple paths to victory. What do the next 3 weeks look like? Like, is it more suing? Is he leaving the White House in the month?
No.
Like, Twitter beef.
I'm telling you, what they're going to do is they're going to have to call in.
Hey, Cheryl.
They're going to have to call in SEAL Team 6 to get him out of the White House. He's not going to go.
Yeah.
But he's always said, throughout his whole campaign, he said that he would not transition. When they asked about transitioning of power, he never agreed to any of it. So you already know it's going to be. They're going to be doing the funky Watusi up in that team.
Yeah, for real.
And trying to get him out of there. Come on, I'm going to let you slide. You got to move. Let's go.
I've been looking back at his 4 years. I've been thinking about the last couple of days, and it's just like, y'all were talking about
Dwayne.
D Goody.
Fellas, what up?
Y'all been talking about, the GOATs and all that.
Right.
Shout out to Cold World, who owes me an explanation about my boy. But I think about Trump, man. He might have made the case for the worst president ever. And I'm trying to say it without being. I'm trying to be objective.
Okay.
Because I didn't vote for him, so it's easy to say. You know what I'm saying? But impeached, scandal after scandal.
Right.
The voter turnout here, people don't even like Biden like that.
Right.
And he's still getting more votes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So this is a direct shot at Trump. Like, we don't like Biden. We just dislike you that much that we're gonna come out and vote like that. They might actually make Georgia go blue. So this shows. I just think his case has been built, and I think you can stamp it. I think it's black and white for the worst president of all time.
It's simple for me. America has spoken.
America has spoken. But see, the reason why I'm watching Fox News, because the last one I looked at CNN had it 253, 214. Right. Fox got it 264 to 214.
Let me turn to Fox.
But all that is one news company. Their brass are bigger and they're just calling it based on the numbers that they have in. Like some states, when they have 90% of the votes in, they're afraid to, even if it's a large enough gap that there's really no comeback. Some people are playing it safe and just showing until they close the polls, they're just not calling it yet. So it's not a change in the actual votes. It's just who's brave enough to say, okay, Michael Jordan finna win this MVP. Oh, Kobe finna win his 4th ring.
Because
that's all it is.
Well, here's what I don't understand with the Trump campaign is that they already don't believe in science. You mean tell me you don't believe in math either?
Right.
So if it's 264 to 214, and Nevada has 6 electoral votes, if he wins Nevada, none of this stuff really matters.
Right. So Cole said it's officially is 264 to 214 Biden. The official tally is done via Associated Press. Anybody listening on my podcast, if you're listening right now, it's Thursday, 9:25 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you listen to this later, you're like, oh yeah, it flipped a whole lot. Later on, oh yeah, it just went the way we was already discussing.
So what state did they call for Biden that got him at 264?
I think Michigan.
Michigan got him at? Okay.
Yeah.
And see, here's the bottom line as far as these numbers. Everywhere, the same thing that happened to Hillary Clinton is happening to Donald Trump. People didn't like Hillary Clinton that much.
Yeah, great point.
And that's the point. If you look at the states that Joe Biden has won, they're all the states that Hillary lost. She lost Michigan. She lost Wisconsin. She lost Arizona. She lost Nevada. And these are the differences. The urban centers have never been the problem for Democrats. If you look at the individual breakdowns of from just about every election, probably going back the last 40 years, Democrats has won the metropolitan areas. why New York is won by Democrats every year, because of New York City and then the urban areas. If you look at Ohio was red everywhere except Cleveland, Cincinnati, Toledo, Akron, and Columbus. Those were blue part, but those are the population centers. So it's people who people who don't live in the cities don't tend to buy what Democrats are saying.
And
what Republicans are saying.
Giving credit to the worst president of all time. He dominated small town USA.
He did.
Small town America.
He like wakes them up. And Trump fans are fiercely loyal to him, and they really came out and vote. And all those young kids that were in high school and couldn't vote, they showed up for him this time as well. But he lost those suburban housewives, who I heard hate that title, as a matter of fact. And so he really upset those nice white ladies, and they're not voting for him this time.
Well, you gotta realize in America, if you're gonna win the vote, you got a white woman. Right. If you don't win the white woman, life isn't good. As President Barack Obama, he had the highest white Caucasian turnout in history about 8 years ago.
Right.
They like black.
So Cole said Michigan and Wisconsin got him to the total. All Biden needs is 6 more electoral votes to get him there.
Biden has 6.
And Biden is ahead, but now the vote, of course. Oh,
to a slow creep.
Right.
Well, you got to realize
for 2 days.
You got to realize not a slow creep. If you look at, and I hate to bring politics, but it's a politics. So if we look at all the months leading up to till Tuesday, right? Mm-hmm. This is what we saw. We saw Democrats generally, or people who side with the Democrat ideology about Corona and everything else. We saw these were the people who were wearing masks. These were the people who was like, if you closer than 6 feet, you too close to me. And then you saw the no mask people, generally Republican, generally Trump supporters. So what we saw in the polls is a reflection of that. And that reflection that we saw in the polls were most Democratic voters, or most people who were siding with President Joe Biden and Senator Kamala Harris. What we saw people who took precaution, and these are people who took advantage of the absentee ballot and the early voting and the mail-in votes. Right. What we saw with the Trump campaign are people who was like, nope, I'm going there pushing this button by myself, face to face.
Right.
So you get the quick count from all the Trump voters. That's why Trump jumps out ahead. And then the people who voted for Joe Biden, a lot of those people voted 2 weeks ago and mailed theirs in. Yeah. But a lot of states didn't have it. Well, we're not counting these votes until the polls close. Right. So this is where all of these people who are like,
they're trying to stop the vote because they know it's going to flip.
Right, because most of those votes are, look, absentee voting has been a part of American society for all of my adult life. As a military member,
I'm about to say the military.
There, you live in a state that you're registered to vote in, so this has always been acceptable.
Right.
Now, take that and add a pandemic, whether created or whatever the case was. Not Corona was not. The Corona's real, but whether the severity, whether the severity of Corona was reduced or not, what we're seeing is that has a legit case record. It goes back, I don't know, decades maybe. I don't know when the first time they ballot. But as far as a lawsuit, you take social distancing, you take things being closed, you take the state of the country, and you state absentee ballots from the military since a minimum. When in 1998, they don't have, President Trump does not have a legal, he doesn't have a legal leg to stand on challenging the constitutionality of these votes. No. Only thing he can challenge whether or not these votes were by registered voters, and obviously you got barcodes and everything else on them, so you can't go that route. Look, you have spoken. By the end of these counts, your president is either gonna be who's been there for the last 4 years or Vice President Biden, and it's looking a whole lot like Vice President Biden. So I'm gonna need America to shut up right now and just continue to soldier on. Why?
Right.
Because the democratic process has gone through. It's played out. And America has said, or right now is saying, Trump, your days are numbered.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So respect the process.
Respect the process.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So like I said, worst president of all time is easy to say, but where are we now after 4 years of Trump?
Hold on. That's a good question. Where are we now? 4 years Trump. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You got another part to the question?
No, go ahead, sir.
All right. Oh, speaking of 4 years.
Don't segue me. Don't segue me.
I'm just
Don't do
that. That was a perfect alley-oop, John Stockton. You're out here playing like John Stockton.
Today we recorded the brothers who talk, and be dropping definitely on Friday. Just a quick snippet, and I appreciate you guys always rocking with us and supporting us. The brothers, me and Terry, we have a dope conversation coming this week. I appreciate you guys watching us and listening and following us. Talk, this is Terry. So we are on a race to 100 subscribers. And I definitely want you to be a part of that. Man. Hey,
I'm telling you, we might have to do that. We might have to go back to doing it live, AD.
All right. Right. So 4 years. Ephraim asked 4 years. So where are we now?
Yeah.
Where are we now?
Truthfully,
my honest answer. The same place we were years ago.
Yeah.
Where is that? How you see it?
The way I see it is, we got to play the political game because we're here, right?
Right.
Taxes are going to go up and they're going to come down. We're going to see the economic shape of the country go up and go down. I think we're going to have some hard days ahead. Right. And the reason why I think we're going to have some hard days ahead is because some people are so fanatical with their commitment and loyalty to a political party, and they don't bring that same enthusiasm to the country known as the United States of America. Right. I think if at this point in time, if Republicans and Democrats alike can get past the fact that I'm red or blue, right, and say that, hey, I'm an American, I think this country has a chance to prosper greatly over the next 4 years. But the reality of it is there's going to be about 30% of Republicans who are going to refuse to let go that President Trump lost. And they're going to be about 30% of Democrats who are so happy that he's not in no more. Every chance they get is going to be a jab or a left hook. And I think those 30% on both sides are going to cause us to have a lot of problems over the next couple months. I think if America realizes that, I think that if America can realize that we are the priority, and we have the ability to literally make this country great, right? But we have to cross party lines. I think we would be in great. I just think some people are going to be sore losers and so loyal to a party that we're going to have a tough 4 years. President Biden is going to have a tough 4 years. We're going to see some of the same things we saw with President Barack Obama. We're going to see the international community open up to America again. We're going to see some gains when it comes to international relations and how the rest of the world sees us. But where we're going to lose at is the political machine. We're going to lose in Congress and Senate because the same issues that President Barack Obama had to fight, not having the majority of Congress or Senate, we're going to start to see some of those things in. So be ready to hear some of the same rhetoric we heard with President Obama. He's not getting A done. He's not getting B done. He can't pass this law. So I am saying now to all the Republicans out there, is more important than your party. Put America first.
Right. Yeah. Where are the Senate and House numbers? Because that's really
like 47.
Yeah. Because I know Dems have control of the House. And
Senate,
then
the Republicans, I think, right now are in the lead, if not officially going to be the majority.
They lead in everywhere except one seat. There's only one
one seat, so 48, 47. I mean, so how Joe Biden runs this country the first 2 years is going to be contingent on what happens in the House and the Senate. We already know that.
But D. Good got a great point though. What if some of these numbers still coming in? What if we still waiting on some of these ballots and some of these states flip? Imagine if he wins and wins the Senate. It's gonna be
tragic. I hear that happens.
I don't think it'd be tragic. I think what we'll see is a president that, based on policies passed, we'll see a president that America approves of. Because reality is, it's like you, Terry, and Pastor Brian, right? The mainstays of Brothers of Legacy. You kind of represent the House, the Senate, and the executive branch.
Right.
If the three of you aren't getting along, then Brothers is gonna have a hard time.
Right.
If AD gotta look at Terry every 5 minutes and say, Terry, don't say that.
What you don't know, AD had to do that to me.
But see, the beautiful part of this process compared to that process is Terry normally listens when AD's like,
I usually do.
So, but what we would have is a House Senate. Okay, whatever. Come on, Sleepy Joe. You got something else, Sleepy Joe?
Give me something good.
Right.
So no, they have to play. They have to play game. I mean, they have to play ball together.
Right. Do you guys think that we will get the second stimulus if whoever gets in office? If Joe gets in office, you think?
Joe got some money. Because Joe wants to win all those folk who only wanted Trump because he got the money. Remember when Trump was first considered a serious candidate? It was like, oh well, he a businessman. He gonna get us all this money, and I'm gonna vote for him for that. Trump. So Joe comes in, kicks out everybody $12.50. I don't know. And then he can spend all that money he wants because you can blame the past president for like the first 2 years. If he would have responded right to this pandemic, man, I wouldn't have had to spend all this money. All that kind of stuff. So,
look, and that's believable, bro. And that's believable.
That's true.
So that's what we're gonna do, man.
Look, all we had to do was shut down these states for about a good 3 weeks. Tell everybody they can't come outside. We delivering groceries. Everything would have been good. But I ain't want to wear masks.
So AD got me watching Fox now, so I can stay objective.
You're getting that absolutely.
And every time you watch Fox, if they show a Democrat, you're gonna see them with a mask on. They it's just still baffles me that they made that a political thing. Public safety, health concerns,
everything became a political football.
And that's what really threw me.
But here's the beautiful thing,
that happened under his watch. He's the worst president.
But it is political. It just was handled. It just handled great. It really is a political issue.
Right.
When we're gonna charge the president for providing health, it does become a political issue. Right. But the problem is how are you handling that political issue? Are you handling the same? Look, think about Hurricane Katrina. I think about Americans on roofs for days. I think about Kanye West saying George Bush don't like black people. These are the things that I think about, right? So they're galvanized in our history. So however you respond during a moment of crisis, how the world is going to look at you. Right. President Trump, 10 years from now, little kids like, man, I remember it was so bad when I was 10 that they closed school. We couldn't even go to school, son.
Right. What's that? Like Hooverville. What's the name? Hooverville. With all the homeless and people. He got known for that. So definitely. Right. Trump is gonna get known for the pandemic.
They're gonna show Trump in a mask. That's all. That's the whole picture. That's 2020 right there.
Where were you 9/11? Where were you when Corona hit?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Wow.
Oh, I don't know. All this stuff is crazy to me.
But I just want to
on Twitter this morning. I saw this great tweet by Ice-T, and he said,
"Shed a tea."
And I'm trying to find it. That's what I'm scrolling through. Oh, and it was it was like a one-liner or two-liner actually. And he said, and please don't forget the 230,000 people that didn't live to vote in county.
Right.
Once again, see that the jabs about what happened in Corona season is already taking place.
Yeah.
Cole said it's a wonderful country. How can the same person say George Bush don't care about black people? We can turn around and say slavery is a choice.
That's a good question, Cole. But
I want to see him get to a debate so we can ask that, Cole. That's all I want to see.
I'm gonna say what happens with Kanye is going to depend on whether he took his medicine that night and whether somebody had a conversation with him about mom.
I need for Cole to mediate that particular debate.
He said, should we get another stimulus check?
Absolutely, why not? The country
if you don't want your check, I will take it. I'm working on a few things.
I cash out.
People gonna hate what I'm about to say about the stimulus check, but at this point, no, we don't need no stimulus check. Y'all need to get off unemployment back to work.
Nah.
I can't. No, now people are on unemployment because it's more than what they make at work. That $964 a week versus
about time we tip the scale back.
Let me tell you what's out there is not what a lot of people lost. A lot of it's like manufacturing, working in warehouses. Those are the jobs that are there. Like, and if I haven't worked in a warehouse in such a long time, like, man, I ain't going to that. Like, I got back problems, like, and they're minor. They're not like be at home forever, on disability. But I can't handle that kind of work. And it's a lot of those jobs that are out there. Yeah. That's real talk.
And it's going to stimulate the economy. If you put that money in their hand, it will be spent. So
for a week, for a couple days.
and so the economy going to need it because the small businesses were really hurting. And although Trump did great stuff for black folk, a lot of small black businesses did not get that check.
Yeah. I know I didn't get mine, but that wasn't his fault. Child support. Anyway,
and I guess the only the thing that I'm pointing out here is not the people who I'm talking. If you were working before in one of these industries prior to March 1st or whenever it was closed down for your state, these are the people that I'm referring to because here's the reason I have issues with, and I'm not gonna hand ups, right? Because everybody needs a hand here and there, and those people who are taking advantage of social, I'm not talking about if it's not a lifestyle, but we know that there's a huge number of these people that on unemployment and refusing to go back to a factory job because the government has made it easy for them.
Well, let me.
For them, those are the people that I'm speaking to.
I got what you said, but listen, that extra bump has stopped months ago. Months ago. No one's getting that check anymore. That extra check, that's gone, and unemployment has run out for a lot of people
because they was only matching like 15 something.
Yeah, we aren't there where we were about 4 or 5 months ago, maybe 6. Yeah,
and also to that, like people who had. Okay. When this first started, a lot of jobs called back and said, "Hey, you can be off furlough. We'll take you back." Right. Like even me, I wanted to wait like 2 weeks. I was tired of being in the house. I wanted to see if people were gonna die, drop dead, the zombie apocalypse. I was trying to see what was going on. You've been hearing reports about a second wave. The Ice-T quote, you know what I'm saying? We still got numbers rising. So people might have just saw it as the best option. It's not like I'm just trying to ride out on the money.
Right.
I just feel uncomfortable about coming back outside. Right. And D Goody, I get that you got a different perspective on that. And there's masks, there's 6 feet, there's washing our hands. So there's practices so we can go back to normal. But I'm saying some people still are just imagine a germaphobe in the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Like people aren't comfortable with going back out.
Man, that's deep right there.
Oh no, that's right there. That becomes more, but that becomes somebody who literally can get money because they mentally,
right?
Like I guess my thing is I'm being narrow minded and I'm only looking at one view here. So everything you said, I agree with. First, both of y'all, everything y'all said, I agree with. I just don't want people to because that money comes from somewhere. And that money usually comes from the people who are actually working because it's going to end up being taxes. But Georgia taxes are going to see an increase for a little bit because of the state, with the exception of Florida and Texas, Alaska, and places like that. But I just, it just reminds me of, like, for instance, a lot of people in red states or who voted red will make this comment, and I've heard this comment. All y'all need to go back to where you come from. I ain't even gonna say south of the border. I ain't gonna say Africa. Go back where you come from. Y'all taking all our jobs. Y'all taking all our money, right? We'll take everything that the AD said about the type of jobs that are out there. The type of jobs that these people generally work, landscaping, farming, jobs that Americans ain't gonna, minimum wage, the pick straw in the Florida heat. What's your mind picking oranges for minimum wages in Florida? Nah. My point is to that section of people who don't have a job or who's looking for a job, who's bettering themselves to get a. I'm talking the ones who barely graduated high school, who's looking at a Mexican or an African or somebody from the Caribbean and looking at them and being like, well, no, you weren't born here, so there ain't no way in the world you should have that job getting those benefits when that person's went to school, when that person's done the work. Right. And they see it because they're an American, they're supposed to have something. Yeah, that's part of the issue. And so I guess let me change what I'm saying. My comment is to those entitled folk who were not doing anything to get a better job or to get ahead. You're sitting back thinking just because you are an American citizen, you're entitled to it. That's that socialist side of government that I don't like. And yes, you Republicans like it too, because you're the first ones up in the welfare office. And y'all say EBT now, I call it the stamps. And you got stamps and you trading stamps. And look, I done bought food stamps from some of y'all. Right. You know who you is. I done gave you 25 for 40. You know who you is.
That's the standard rate.
Right. That's who I'm talking to. 25 for 40, I'm talking to you.
Let's stop it. That's just stop that. I ate my best steak on EBT. That's quick right there.
As she said, I'm just fearful for what happens to the Federal Reserve in the future. We're already in so much debt. I get it, but we got the money. No one's ever going to convince me that we don't have the money. No one's ever going to convince me we don't have the money. We get the money, we need the money.
That money,
bro, where it's coming from? Where's coming from?
Where all of it came from?
Tax money.
They were folk off $3,500 a pop.
Us, it's coming from us,
bro. They got
tax money.
Bush got a blank check when terrorists attack. A blank check.
Yeah,
like come on, man. Like
that's where
we get the money when we need the money.
How much a tank costs to make? How much it costs to ship it when you make it?
A tank costs approximately $3 to $5 million.
And then they ship it. Like, what's the shipping cost?
The shipping cost is
check blank.
It's probably a lot cheaper because it's somebody we got contracts with who that contract is big, but that's all they do is transfer.
I don't know if it's a battalion or whatever, but the group of y'all who killing them, how many of y'all get a tank?
Okay, so in a tank, in traditional Army unit, a tank company has about 10 tanks.
Who good with math? What's that? 10 times 5?
And traditional battalion, there's 3 maneuver battalions. Means that there's 3 battalions out of there's 3 battalion with tanks. The brigade, there's 3 brigades in every division.
Okay.
So you're looking at active Army. I'd estimate that we have approximately 500 tanks in the Army.
Jesus. And do you have to trade them in to, like, people like Terry, or you buy a new tank every year, or like is that
no? So what happens is we still have tanks in service from the 80s. A lot of those tanks they get pushed down to reserve units and National Guard units. Gotcha. The new to active duty. But a tank once it's in service, you're 20 years unless a new version of a tank comes out or it gets destroyed in war.
Let me ask you this, and I'll leave it alone. We were since 2002, we've been in Iraq, I'm assuming. So, like, how much has that cost us?
Well, I put costs like this. I don't know how much equipment we've had, but one thing I know is during 2004, fuel costs alone was $1 million a day for Afghanistan. And
we got the money.
Look, but here's the other part that you failed to, though, my brother. When it comes to war, one of the reasons Republicans like war because war is very lucrative.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of jobs that are created, and with those jobs that are created, there's a lot of money that circulates. So that's one of the reasons why Republicans are quick to spend and quick to spend, and because it creates so much more than it spends.
Yeah. Old white man told me that when blood on the street, buy property.
Right.
Yeah.
Facts. Look, that was good advice.
Okay. Hold on. Let me go. Yes. Let me do a quick reset. You're listening and watching the Brothers of Legacy. I have my brother Ephraim Terrell, Dwayne Goodson, Terry, and Pastor Brian McCrory just stepped in the building. So if you listen on the podcast, you're wondering who the voices are. There's a new voice. Pastor McCrory has just stepped in the building.
That's the OG. That's
Yes, sir.
Yes,
indeed. All right. Before we keep going, I got one more segue.
All right.
With all this,
I'm scared of it. What's today? Today's Wednesday. Today's Thursday.
Today's Thursday. I got one more. Listen, yeah, I know a new one. With all the production and everything happening, from the ads to the music to the setup, if you're looking for any of that, come see your brother.
I love this ad. Run it.
Come see AD Walker Helps, and we can make that happen for you. You can have the same thing. Stay tuned.
This guy's on fire.
I was about to kill. Look, that was fuego. I was about to kill Terry though, bro.
Why?
I'm gonna tell you because I saw Sam and I was like, hold on, Terry got a perm, but it was a quick flash. I was about to go in on you. I thought it was the brothers who talk. And I was like, Terry done got a perm.
Anything for Raiders.
Ooh, I was about to get you, Terry, bro. I was like, bro, get your curls back. Get your curls back.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Yo, man.
Hold on. Leave it up there, Terry.
It's ugly, son. Hey, put him on the big screen.
I want to speak to the poll manager.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We down to 50,000 votes in Georgia.
Wow.
What's it looking like?
50,000, right? Okay.
He hit 49.6 to 49.2. Still Trump though.
Wow.
Ooh, that means now. That means they're counting those mail-in ballots.
Yeah, they still finishing up Fulton County. Fulton County should be done in about an hour.
Oh well, you know who went in Fulton County?
Absolutely.
Time of death.
If they don't win Fulton County,
right?
I'm upset.
Mine
but yeah,
too.
with
Mine
the
too.
money, man. I mean, I'm kind of with AD on this one. And D, I get what you're saying, but it's like when they want to, man, the money out there. And and I know I was listening to the show with you and Pastor McCoy. We're talking about the reparations and all, and I get that. But I'm just saying they got the money. If it's only 43 million black people and they wanted to give everybody $1 million, they technically got the money. That's all I'm saying. So we can make it happen.
Right.
Facts.
But
I think
I just wanted to win Nevada. Here's my thing. If Fox's numbers is right, 264, 214,
Right.
he needs to win. He only needs to win Nevada.
that's it.
To get the presidency.
And he's leading Nevada.
And he's leading in Nevada. He's going to win Nevada.
What you say, Pastor?
I'm agreeing with. Well, I'm kind of agreeing with Terry. I said if Fox's numbers are right, then the election is over.
Yeah, because all he would need is Nevada. Las Vegas is the only city in Nevada that has any population.
Yes,
if he went Reno, Casino Town. Right. If they all vote, they're leading in. If you're leading Nevada, they call Nevada. It's over. I don't even know why we're doing all this because the math is still the math.
But the commentators, the anchors on Fox were frustrated all day yesterday because Fox called it for.
This is the truth.
It is what it is.
I think it's interesting that Fox called it for Biden and no other news
outlet called it.
Called it.
Like, do you think they're going to try to carry Trump when this is over? Don't you think somebody there was like, he was the boss, I had to do it? Like, I really don't like him, but he's my boss. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he has a fan base, but I'm just saying.
But that's been the whole election. I mean, that's been the whole presidency, and even the candidacy before the presidency. Republicans really didn't like him, but they couldn't do nothing.
Yeah,
they couldn't check him.
It's almost like let's wait to make sure he's not gonna win before we say what we really want to say.
But again, I think the biggest lesson in this election is the validation of the state of America as it relates to race relations.
Yes.
Right.
This
was not a decision about economics.
Right.
No, this was America. Saying
this was not a decision about policy. This was the disposition of relations in America. And what has happened, and again, we talked about this, the silent majority has spoken.
Mm-hmm.
The silent majority says, I'd rather have Trump than to lose my privilege. And I feel like if I don't support Trump, I'm on the verge of losing my privilege. Folks are nervous about losing their privilege in America.
Right.
Yeah.
America's changing colors. That's the reality.
Right.
America's getting darker. I don't care what anybody says. And people who don't have a dark hue are getting nervous. And it doesn't make them racist.
Right.
This is survival of the fittest. This is about preservation. That's what this is about.
Yeah.
These are people who don't agree with Trump, who don't agree with his character, have no respect for him, but care about their disposition in America. Say again?
No, you had me think about Pharaoh. That's what Pharaoh did when he saw too many of them. He just started tossing the babies, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's the part that we have to deal with. That's the reality of America. Because it makes no sense that that Democrats couldn't take the Senate.
Right.
Yeah, we're struggling with that.
You got to realize, the Republican Party was not hurt in this election. That speaks volumes.
Volumes, right?
Yeah,
right.
If you guys, I don't know if anybody here watched the Young Turks.
Yeah.
Anna Kasparian went absolutely ape nuts yesterday when she went to a full tirade because of the Senate not winning, the Dems not winning the Senate or the House or whatever she was fussing about. But she went on a 20-minute tirade because she was mad because we should have won or flipped. Was it the Senate?
Right.
And so
listen, the House and the Senate, it makes no sense. The only thing that you can say is that America has spoken.
Yeah.
Has spoken in more ways than one, exactly.
Nothing has changed, but we ain't want him as president.
But let me ask you that though. How do you advise, if you're in Biden's camp, how do you advise him? Okay, Mr. President, they didn't like you. They just didn't like him more. You know what I'm saying? How do you, so you won, and now they really didn't want you, but you're here. How do you advise him about going forward?
I think
Biden has already done it.
He's used to it. He spent 8 years with President Obama. He already know what that's like.
And he said it already. He said it 2 days ago. He said, I'm not going to be the Democratic president. I'm going to be America's president. This is not going to be about red versus blue. This is going to be about moving forward.
He's trying to bring some kind of
Biden saying all the right things.
Yeah.
Saying all the right things.
Right.
You know.
So it's all about. So we were talking about earlier in the week about accountability. No matter who's in the office, we're going to hold their feet to the fire.
Right.
So even though he said that, we had to make sure we keep his feet to the fire.
Biden gonna be on the fire. Like, what's up? What's with the what was that fried chicken plan he had?
I need you to
lift every voice, but
lift every voice. They call back Ice Cube, get him put him on the cabinet.
I need that. I need Cube there the first week, make him the Secretary of Education.
Yeah, I need Ice Cube. I need Ice Cube as a Supreme Court justice. I need him there.
Right.
I need.
Can you see my screen?
Hold on.
Make it big.
Yeah, I am. So long.
Back up. Oh, I've heard talking about finding those who voted for Biden and South and take care. Oh,
wow.
Come on.
Come through, holler at your boy.
That message comes from a military veteran friend of mine who is an absolute redneck, who's a very, very dear friend of mine.
Gotcha.
Who I speak highly of, a high character person, but he's the Nashville dude. And
this is why, Pastor. This is why, Pastor. You got to have your babies. Second Amendment is on deck right here. Come on. Surprise! Come on.
Don't show that.
That's old. Come on.
Somebody going back like, let me go.
So he said that to you, Pastor?
Yeah, we talk. We have I have a group of military contacts where we have a military a highly secure channel, a bat channel, and we communicate on, right? And our messages are deleted after they're terminated after X amount of time. It lasts about 60 seconds.
I need one of those.
So we get on here and talk, and we have these conversations. That came from just an inbox because we talk on Facebook. And so this is a friend of mine who has an arsenal that would rival any armory owned by a private citizen. Right. But he feeds me information from what his neighbors are saying.
Wow.
Because his neighbors are people who have Confederate flags in their yards.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
His neighbors are people who have underground caverns with 25 years worth of inventory stocked up.
Yeah.
Doomsday prepper type people.
Yeah. And so these are the conversations that are being had. Right now, this is not trying to stoke fear or anything like that. I'm saying that none of that is new. It's just been exposed.
Absolutely.
Right. And what has happened is Trump having a leader like Trump has stoked the fire of that bitterness in America. America is, and here's the thing. It's hard to say America is worse off than it has ever been because America hasn't changed.
Right.
The only difference is that this stuff was hidden. These people were behind closed doors, and now they've just come out.
Yeah.
Broad daylight.
That's all. But what's interesting is, as foul as his character has been over the last 4 years, look at the election.
No change. Just got rid of him.
Right.
Yeah.
That tells you that the spirit of complicity is alive and well in America.
Yeah.
But I would like to share this with you guys because in this day and time, people have been down and sad for a while, and they just need something to smile about every now and then.
Mm-hmm. Don't come back no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't come back no more. Come on, Ray. What you say?
Okay, so help me understand this. Tell me, if Trump isn't reelected, who's the leader of the Republican Party?
Mitch McConnell?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Or
if Trump doesn't get reelected, who's the leader of the Republican Party?
Mitch McConnell or Lindsey Graham. Like, come on.
Lindsey Graham look like
you
somebody's
think,
grandma.
you think that so when you look at a race this tight,
Yeah, right.
you think that the leader of the Republican Party is going to change?
Yeah,
It's going to be Pence.
I think
Really?
so.
Oh.
Like I don't think Trump's gonna pull the same weight that he pulled because he's not president anymore.
I've been
He
thinking
would
it's gonna
he would
split.
demand the same attention.
But
He'll demand the same
here's the
attention,
point.
but not
Here's the
the leader.
point.
I want him to go away.
Go ahead.
Here's the part that
going
you
away.
guys are missing.
Go ahead,
Here's the
Pastor.
part that you guys are missing. Here's the part that you guys are missing. What's worse, Trump in office or America proving that they responded to Trump?
Right.
Say
Do
it
you
again.
really
Right.
think the leader? No, the reason why this race is so tight is because they want to keep things the way that they are.
Right.
So you think that the influence of Trump is not going to last long after the election?
Way long. And I was honestly feeling like they might even split, like a split like from the traditional Republican Party. I've been kind of feeling that, with the way it's shifting. Like I said, the Trump influence has been
These
pretty
people are responding-
large.
These people are responding to Donald Trump.
Right. And like
They're
we've
not
been saying
responding to the
before.
Republican Party. They're
Right.
responding to Donald Trump.
Right.
But he
Right.
goes away, they go away. And when I say go away, they still will be lurking in the shadows. But I'm saying without the power, without the platform, all he'll have then is Twitter.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
that's all he had.
So
I
a
just-
new leader will emerge, in my
So
opinion.
you're saying to me that Joe Biden didn't need Barack Obama stumping for him.
Yeah, but they didn't pull out George Bush.
Well,
Republicans didn't really show out.
No, listen. Of course they didn't pull out George Bush because they're only responding to Donald Trump.
Right. They wouldn't pull out George Bush. That's a whole
Biden
nother
Probably
dude.
wouldn't stand by.
because Biden gets credit because people respond to Barack Obama.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what
Because
it is. I
Barack
see what you're
Obama
saying,
hasn't
Pastor.
gone anywhere.
I see what you're saying, Pastor. I see what
Right?
you're saying. Right. Right.
The
These
only
people are-
reason
there's no other voice in the Republican Party
That they're
that
responding.
they're responding to, that America's
Except-
responding to. They're responding. Remember, we said this. There is a GOP
Yep.
and there's a Trump party.
Yes.
The Trump party has more influence than the
Yep.
GOP.
Okay.
Who do you think is most embarrassed right now on the right-hand side? It's
Right.
the Lincoln Project.
Right.
The people that poured $100 million who are Republicans saying this man is not the one.
Right.
The amount of money that they have spent,
Right. To get
and
rid of Trump.
it had zero impact.
Right.
It
Right.
didn't cost them one vote.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
That tells you that they're
Yeah.
they're responding to one voice, and that
Right.
voice is Donald Trump.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true.
I still don't
He
believe that
can hit the road though.
and this is the only reason I say this, Pastor. I completely understand where you're coming from. I just think that it's going to be enough waves in the camp that the people who didn't particularly like President Trump to begin with, like the Ted Cruzes of the world, the Marco Rubios, and a host of others,
The
they
Lindsey
didn't-
Graham.
the Lindsey Graham, right? That
Lindsey
who did,
Graham. No, listen. Lindsey Graham was reelected because of Donald Trump.
Right.
He
I'm
wasn't
not-
reelected because he's Lindsey Graham. He was reelected because of Donald Trump.
And I'm not arguing that point because, to your point, in South Carolina, Don might be the most popular person, period. And so you're gonna have Lindsey Graham living off of the effects of a Donald Trump society. So I'm not arguing that at all. But what I think is that the Republicans who didn't want him as a candidate when he ran the first time because people loved him. I think convincing that group of people again that I'm your guy. I mean, people. This is a close race, but I still don't think it's as close as possible. I don't think it's as close as possible, and I think he's proven to America, because we're still talking about a voter population where people didn't maximize their votes, right? Mm-hmm. And that they're still, like, the polling numbers aren't record numbers. So we're talking about people who didn't maximize their and demographics that didn't maximize their votes, who wouldn't have voted for him either, but he still is losing in spite of that. I think that we're going to see the Republican Party implode with their relationship with Donald Trump, because he's already let them know many times, this is my show, not yours. Y'all, I'm the show pony, not y'all. He's let them know that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Terry. I mean, PD.
Okay, so my question is, I I hear what you said, Pastor, because his influence is going to reverberate for a long time. Yes. Like he is so cut from a different kind of cloth, of politics, especially with the Republican Party, politics, period. What happens, right? He gets the 4 years, right? At the end of the 4, of course, constitutionally, his job is done.
Because he ain't going.
What happens after? When he runs his whole race, what happens after? Is there a Trump party, aka Republican Party, or does that movement kind of die? Because obviously his dividing of the country, his kind of pouring alcohol to pull up those the kind of the silent majority have kind of been speaking up a lot, because there are folks I've been following for quite a bit of time. Now they've spoken out, now you can kind of see the true colors, like we've always spoke about for his whole 4 years. What happens after? Or what do you guys think happens after?
If he's not reelected?
If he gets his next 4. So we get past the cheating. So we don't get the uprising, because everyone's like, yes, our man, like we said, was gonna win.
What have we seen in the last year, 2 years? Right. What we've seen in the last 2 years is the explosion of America and race relations, haven't we? From regular folks to law enforcement to the judicial system, right? And in the midst of all of that, how many justices has Trump appointed?
Oh, we had
198.
Yeah.
More than anybody in history since Jimmy Carter, I think, or something like that. So
wasn't Jimmy Carter labeled the worst president in America before this, though?
I
always say his name.
I always hear that.
Hear the point. Do you not think that Trump is going to top the list as one of the worst presidents that America's ever had? When it's all said and done, people are going to remember the terror that was America during the reign of Donald Trump.
Yep. That's what people are going to remember.
Yeah. So what makes people great is not character.
Right.
It's influence.
Right.
It's impact.
Right.
And he's been impactful, and he has surely been influential.
Right.
He has people. Donald Trump has opened the gates where people are posting Trump flags on their trucks.
Yep.
Driving on open highways with loaded automatic weapons.
Yep.
And the reason they feel like they can get away with it is because they have a Trump flag on their truck.
Yep.
The reason why they're comfortable, they're not afraid of law enforcement, is because they have a Trump flag. They figure as long as we put the Trump flag, if we have a Trump flag, the police will not mess with us.
Right.
In the book of Daniel, the Bible talks about, here I go with the Bible.
It's good. You're good.
The Bible talks about King Nebuchadnezzar, one of the greatest Babylonian rulers, right?
Yeah.
People said that history says that Nebuchadnezzar was a ruthless person. but he was a charismatic leader. The Bible says, and this when people talk about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they always talk about the fiery furnace. The person who created that fiery furnace was Nebuchadnezzar, who erected a statue and said, at the sound of the trumpet, at the sound of the horns, everyone is supposed to bow down and worship this image.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And y'all know the story. The 3 Hebrew boys refused to do it. So the story goes, he turns the heat up 7 times hotter than it was. And he brings he tells them to throw the 3 Hebrew boys into the fire.
Right.
But what they don't tell you is what it was like to disobey a king like Nebuchadnezzar.
Right.
What they don't tell you is that Nebuchadnezzar was the king who recruited the Scythian army.
Mm-hmm.
What they don't tell you is who the Scythian army was.
Right.
Nebuchadnezzar was so charismatic that he was able to go pull these nomads in, this nomadic army, the Scythians. The Scythians were the type of army, they were the most aggressive. They were like SEALs on a bad day. Right? Think about devil worshiping Navy SEALs, and that was the Scythian army.
Right.
And they were the kind of army that would, if they captured you, the way that they celebrated is they would tie your limbs, all 4 limbs, to horses or chariots, and they would make bets. They would cast lots to see, and they send the chariots in 4 different directions, and they would make bets to see which part of your body ripped off first.
Right.
That was the Scythian army. So not only was he ruthless, but also charismatic, but he had the roughest army on the planet at the time.
Right. Right.
So if there was anybody to obey, it was Nebuchadnezzar. You did not want to be on the wrong side of Nebuchadnezzar.
Right. Right.
Now I'm trying to. Okay, we're gonna go out of here with
no, you're gonna close it out. You closed it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So the point I'm trying to make is it was the power of the influence that he had, so much so that he had the craziest people under his thumb.
Right. Right.
So fast forward to today, and you have Donald Trump, who has the craziest people in America under his thumb. Not only does he have the craziest people in America under his thumb, the most racist and vile individuals under his thumb, he has the support of law enforcement.
Right.
The majority of law enforcement.
Yes.
Right. I say all that to say this. I don't really care about the next 4 years if Donald Trump was to be elected. It doesn't matter to me because I didn't answer to Donald Trump the last 4 years. I don't answer to Donald Trump now.
Yes.
I don't care how hot the fire gets. Right. It doesn't matter how ruthless he is. Doesn't matter how charismatic he is. I don't care what his army looks like. None of that matters to me.
Right. Right.
Because I'm still going to serve the Lord. I'm still going to hold fast to my faith. Right. I'm still going to cover my family. Right. And I dare anybody to come up to 6528 Terra Glen Way.
Yes, indeed.
You understand what I'm saying? And so to your point, I don't expect things to get better.
Right.
Because the Bible that I read tells me the evils of the world wax worse and worse.
Right.
But I am in the world, but not of the world. And I tell you, I've said this before, AD. We probably losing people because I'll start opening up the Bible and people fall off.
It's all good. It's all good.
But the reality is, we still have purpose. Yes. We still have to have a plan.
Yes.
And we still have to persevere. Right. And that's just the reality. And Trump, I've said it 100 times. Trump is a pig. Right. He's a pig. Right. But he does not govern my home.
Right. Right.
You know, you said, what is it going to be the next 4 years? They're going to do everything they can possibly do because they know they only have the next 4 years.
I feel you. All right.
He can do everything he can.
There it is. We shall see. And I mean, I get it. So we'll see how it's gonna go down. You guys make sure you stay tuned. The Dwayne Goodson had a couple of issues. He had to grab Bella's phone. We appreciate you guys rocking with us and hanging with us. Listen, it's going to be unsung. We are going to, let's see, do not change. Pastor, please tell people that the person is still not bigger than the Lord. Thank you for this message. Yes, indeed.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
We appreciate you guys rocking with us and hanging with us. We come on every single day, Monday through Friday. I guess that's not every single day, but that's every day for us at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being a part. Listen, know that God is still reigning supreme over everyone, regardless
the God
of
that I serve.
Right. Right. As for me in this house,
he's able to save me from the fiery furnace.
Yes, indeed.
But even if he doesn't, I will not bow down.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Amen. So we will see you guys tomorrow. So as always, we like to close out. Know that Brothers Legacy loves you, but God loves you more. He's keeping you. He's watching over you, and he's protecting you, regardless of what anybody might say, think, or whatever you might read. All right. Take care. Be blessed. Keep pushing, guys. I didn't want to catch that. Morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another episode. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.